don't get matchups like this every week, but when we do, all eyes are focused. A top 10 matchup, playoff expectations becoming a storyline, and the stakes are soaring in this one. Welcome everyone to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see, the runner-up from last year's national championship, the South Carolina Gamecocks, taking on the 9th-ranked team in the land, the Miami Hurricanes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. The Gamecocks have been waiting, and finally the moment is coming and the opening of the season. And he'll just take... This drive will start at the 25. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete. Let's take a minute and talk about Miami. They start the season in the top 10. Ideal position to make a run, but what do they need to avoid?
Well, I think you avoid the talks about me and where we're at, because that doesn't matter. This team's got a lot to prove. It's a very talented team, but they got to start the season off fast. That first impression makes a big deal in all these voters, Jesse.
Yeah, I think a lot of these players are hungry to prove that top 10 ranking is legit, but talking to some of their guys too, David, they actually feel like they're not ranked high enough. They actually feel disrespected being where they are, which is pretty amazing considering this is already a really great jumping point. I can't wait to see how they play today.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards of pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win, fall forward, get that good gain, stay ahead of the sticks, don't have to get in bad situations. This defense better respond, or else I'll do that all the way down the field.
Working that left side now. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Motion from the wide receiver. They'll leave it with him. Runs from the tackle. Guys, let's look big picture Miami. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only...
Breaks into the open. Perhaps a touchdown saving tackle at the 17.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. You saw it on that play.
And the Canes are moving quickly down the field. From the red zone, looking for a man. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
How about this defense coming out aggressive on first down? They're in the red zone. They're like, no, we're going to take the fight to you. Now setting up a second down and long and putting them in a great position to be successful.
Gave up the sack on first down. Now it's 2nd and 11. Dropping back, it's Mendoza. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Caught over the middle. It's Lofton. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
And listen, I know he just got rocked, but he held onto the football and got the first down. So when he can get up, when he has the strength to get back up, nothing to be worried about. Nice play, nice catch. Don't worry about that big stick. I got the first down. Signal that thing for me and celebrate.
Snap in the shotgun. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Hurricane. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
What an exciting way to start this season. This offense had a plan. They knew who they wanted to be, but you had to come out and execute it. And that was a beautiful first drive, creating some momentum, not only for this offense, but for this squad to start the season.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll bring it out. It's Bennett. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Offense in a bunch formation. Out of the gun to give to the back. That keeps the running game churning. Pick up a 5 to the 23.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
And the Gamecocks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Dropping back, it's Reed. Quarterback extends the play. Trying to make magic with his feet. Nice run there. A few, and they'll force him out of bounds.
2nd and short is a great situation to be in. And look at him. He drops back to pass the football. He doesn't have to throw the football. He wants to be aggressive, but he can just take off and scramble. Doesn't have to take a chance. Great being ahead of the sticks.
Now on first down from the 30. Wants to go up top on first down. The sure hands. It's Harbor. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down.
The defense needs to have a plan for this guy. They weren't ready for that one. Drag route, running all the way across the field. The DB just can't stay with him because of his speed, and as a result, they give up a big one.
The Gamecocks come to the line with a new set of downs. Leaves it with the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. With the catch, it's Lee. Couldn't ask for much more there. A first down, and they're down to the 42. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
It's a 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. To the air, it's Reed. Unloads to the right. It's complete. Slippery slide. Find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Finds his man. It's Carr. And he picks up the first down, but he will remember the price he paid after that hit.
Nice job reeling in that catch. Listen, when you say Miami Hurricane football, to me, I think about burners at the receiver position. Michael Irvin, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, who I played with in the Senior Bowl. These guys could not be covered one-on-one. And this dude here in this offense today, he causes the same kind of problems. Really, really good route runner. He always seems to get open.
And the defense making a play and getting a hand on that pass.
Well, the linebacker's playing zone coverage, and he's just watching the QB's eyes to see where he's going to go with the football, and the eyes take him to the ball. He's able to swat it away. Great play on defense.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Looking to throw, it's Mendoza. Using his feet to buy time. Grabbed behind the line, it's Beebe. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And there are certain guys that I want to make sure I hone in on, and I do not give them the football in space. And this running back is one of those guys. Really good job by the defense, keeping their eyes on their keys and not letting him sneak out and get any kind of space. As soon as he touched it, he was on the ground.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
On his way back from the 20. And he steps out of bounds, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Absolutely nothing settled. Deadlocked after one period of play as we have a look at the stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see if someone can get the edge in the second quarter. They've got a first down here to open the period. Running back searching for a hole. Pass to sticks and still on his feet. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. And the Gamecocks moving quickly to the line. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6.
And that wasn't a big gain, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Someone moved a little early, and the offense will go backward. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And now on 2nd down for this offense. Finds his man. It's Harbor. And he was able to shed a tackle and pick up the first down before they finally get him on the ground. You can work your way down the field with these wide receiver screens, but also look for the opportunity to turn them into chunk plays later.
No doubt. You throw it quickly. You get it to him now. DB comes up, has to make a tackle. Now you fake it maybe a little bit later on. So these plays, they're not huge plays all the time, but they can set up big plays down the road for your offense.
They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
Play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on 2nd down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on 2nd down.
The Gamecocks in a good spot here with 2nd and short. From the gun, Give on the inside. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Tough sledding there as he picks up 1 to the 29. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. To the air, it's Reed. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? 2nd down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this 3rd down manageable. Really nice job of executing.
And the Gamecocks come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. They're going to try to throw for it on 3rd down. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Once you start to get down here towards the goal line, it's so much more difficult to throw the football. You really want to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and use your speed and take advantage of the grass when you see it. They try to take a little bit of a shot down the field unsuccessfully. Nice job by this defense.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. The throw. Got it in the middle, it's Odom. That'll be enough for a first down, and they've got it at the 16-yard line.
Well, it's a heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
Leaves it with the back. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Middle Tennessee is just getting blown off the field right now, and at this rate, I'm not sure this won't get worse. They're trailing by 17 to Nevada. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. And he fires a dirt ball. Man, oh man, would he like to have that pass back.
Tell you what, that was a lightning-fast decision. You could tell he knew what he wanted to do right away, makes the decision, but maybe his footwork wasn't a little bit good, and the pass wasn't where he wanted to put that thing. I know that.
To throw, it's Mendoza. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
When you're going to run a comeback route, you've got to sell like you're going deep, and that was a great job there by the receiver, really making that corner think he was running deep down the field. So he got the corner to turn his hips, turn his shoulders, and then the receiver was able to just pivot around to make it an easy pass and catch.
This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. He's got him wide open. Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
And you got to love the versatility of the big fella. You can put him in the box and let him block big defensive linemen, or you put him in the slot and you throw him the football and have success.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Pringle. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
Nice job by the running back, catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
The Canes will snap it on 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Out of the gun, the running back has it. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Offense trying to go RPO, but how about the defense? Up front, their front seven, they had dudes winning, just being way more physical and able to get to that running back.
And the Hurricanes trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Motion from the back. Looking downfield, it's Mendoza. Unleashes one. Intercepted. They were back in their own end, and they stopped the drive. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
You know, I like the decision by the quarterback in terms of where he was going with the ball. Just don't like the accuracy. That was not good location on the throw. Got away from him a little bit, and the defense able to come up with a big pick.
Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Gamecocks with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And the Gamecocks come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Wide open downfield. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. Nice move there. There he goes. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
I love this play call. You want to get your playmakers the football in space. What a creative way. This little kind of push pass by the quarterback. Get into the receiver's hands quickly and let him go make yards.
The Gamecocks trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the football, making the tackle for a loss. Nice job by this defense.
The run up the middle, looking for the score. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, South Carolina.
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
And he'll bring it back. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. Looking downfield, it's Mendoza. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
And the Canes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking down the middle. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. The Hurricanes will send out the punt unit. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He just wanted to get it out of there from his end zone. Makes the grab close to the logo. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. To the air on 1st down. Throws to the wideout. Got his man. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Splits the uprights right down the middle, and that lead grows even bigger. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. He'll put toe to leather and get this second half started. And he's going to bring this one out. Stopped at the 26, brought it out in the end zone, picked up an extra yard.
South Carolina offense will take over 1st and 10.
South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. Looking to throw, it's Reed. He'll loft one deep down the left side. Makes a grab deep. Running free. Touchdown Gamecocks. And the pummeling has started.
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under it and make a big play for it.
Yeah, and when I'm the receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Oh, my goodness, he's still moving. Out of bounds, stopped just short of the 20 at the 19, and now they feel like they have room to operate. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, everything to kind of go your way. So fast and throwing the football.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. That's caught. It's Beebe. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30.
And a great job by the QB finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
And the Canes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw again. Plucks it out of the air. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
The Canes are moving quickly down the field. Back to throw, it's Mendoza. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
And that's your goal. Separate man from ball. Try to get your shoulder in there on the catch point and really give him something to think about. Physically jar that football and knock it out. Nice job by the defender.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Back to pass. Here's the pressure. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
That's another example of just really good football. This is why they built the lead here in the second half. Nice job pressuring the quarterback, making him feel uncomfortable, coming into somebody else's building and keeping it really, really quiet.
They'll send the tight end in motion. On third down, he drops to throw. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
Well, this defense has a 3-possession lead at this point. You're seeing how dominant they are up front. They have done such a good job recruiting D-linemen, linebackers, guys that can blitz. They've got speed. They've found guys in the portal. They've recruited guys out of high school, and they are just eating right now.
And they'll get him down after the return at the 27-yard line. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking for a man. It's Reed. He's got an open man. He's loose on the right. He's at the touchdown. Game That's his third touchdown pass of the day. The defense has no clue how to respond right now.
No, and the defense has had absolutely no answer. He's been on the money. He's been on fire, making the right decisions and just carving this defense up.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Middle Tennessee is just getting blown off the field right now. At this rate, I'm not sure this won't get worse. They're trailing by 17 to Nevada. This one has actually kind of exceeded expectations. Always a memorable chapter in the book of college football.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Going to try to get it himself.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
And the Hurricanes with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. The give to the tailback. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And after your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not it. They were ready for that. Gonna have to create some explosive plays through the passing game.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. The screen, he's got wheels. He'll be brought down at about the 18-yard line, not enough to move the sticks.
And offenses nowadays, they're really just counting numbers. How many guys do you have out wide? How many guys do I have out wide? If I have enough guys to block your guys, boom, it's just built into the offense. Pitch, catch, let me get a few yards.
Not going to take a chance to grab that one as it bounces out of bounds. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. They're starting this drive with a massive lead, and they just want to finish strong. They'll pick up 4, second and 6 coming. And the Gamecocks headed quickly to the line.
A nice job being gap sound by this defense. And here you go. Watch what this offense does. Nope.
Oh, he's got some space. He gets it to the 31-yard line. A big play for this offense.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
The Gamecocks, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there. Incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
They're dealing with a second and long. DB's locked up tight on the receivers. Got a man. It's Odom. Oh, he's got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, South Carolina. And they take it in for 6 more points.
And add it on again. This offense has done whatever they want, however they want, and this lead has ballooned. When you start a season off, you want to build momentum. You want to defeat an opponent and beat them badly. That's exactly what they've done. This team looks ready to compete for a national championship.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. To the air, it's Mendoza. On target over the middle. And he'll have to check his fillings after that lick, but he did get the first down.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the second half moving forward.
Got it behind the line. It's Lofton. Got the completion, but nowhere to go as that defense reacted quickly.
Well, the defense didn't have a lot of time to celebrate that last big play because here's the offense right away back at the line of scrimmage, ready to roll again with tempo.
This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much, got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Gonna look downfield again. He's got him this time. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Well, you can tell those two have been practicing the out route all offseason long. They look like they could have completed that in their sleep.
And the Canes lining up, just needing a few tough inches on third down. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. They just needed a few inches, and the defense knocked them down in the backfield. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Facing this double-digit deficit here in the second half, almost a no-brainer to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Finds him out of the backfield. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Man, aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
The give to the left side. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody, based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. After swapping ends of the field, they gave him a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Back to throw, it's Reed. Fires to the tight end. And he was off to the races, and he gets it to the 45. Really good job working through his progression. You get it to him quickly, and the big tight end has a chance to run a little.
And a really good job by the QB throwing an accurate throw. I got to hit those guys on the move, on the run, so they can do this. They can catch the football, get upfield, and chew up some extra yards.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Grab near the sticks. It's Odom. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there in a similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive.
Turning it on. Got enough space. Touchdown Gamecocks. And they add 6 more to trip to the house.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this. This coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
And they did tack on that extra point with no problem. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And he finished it with a scintillating 28-yarder to the house. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. A very disappointing performance for the #1 team in the country. There'll be a new team atop the rankings when they come out next. Pressure coming. And they get to him, and down goes the quarterback, and you just cannot afford that in this spot.
And when I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
Now improvising. Blasted as he lets it go. Picked off. What a play to set him up.
And this is exactly the situation you want to get in as a defense. You got the lead late in the football game. You know they got to throw. And what do? You get to the quarterback, you hit him, and you get pressure on him. And then what happens, Palmer?
Yeah, it's complimentary football, David. No question about it. They're just putting the hammer down right now with the lead, and the defense playing accordingly. Now giving it back to their offense for an opportunity to pad this lead even further here as we're in the 4th quarter.
Going to work in the red zone, they can pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these 3rd downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on 2nd down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up 3rd and long, and now you're set up to fail.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Incomplete, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
You know, there are a lot of people watching this game that are thinking to themselves, where's the sportsmanship? You're blowing this team out. Why are you going for it on 4th? Why not just punt, give it back, and just leave here with a W? That's because this coach wants his guys to keep executing. I played for a coach in college that would have done the same thing. The backups are on the field. They get an opportunity to run your playbook, so let them do it. At the end of the day, you've got to force the opponent to stop. And that's what they're doing. That's the mindset. I got to be honest, I like it.
Well, when your quarterback has already been sacked 4 times, shouldn't be some big surprise if the O-line gets called for holding. Quarterback by himself in the backfield. Looking to throw, it's Mendoza. Those two not on the same page. It's incomplete.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
Gonna sling it on second down. Pressure got to him, couldn't get rid of it, and they got him for a safety.
And that's the exclamation point right there. It's been a bad day, man. This offense, they're going to have to find some answers over the next couple of weeks, especially the next week in practice, of who they are, what their identity is, because all they've done today is struggle around and now give up points.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. With this big cushion they're working with, Jesse, they're ready to send these fans toward the exits.
And you know the coaching staff has got to be so happy with how this offense has been able to come out here on the road, fight the crowd noise, and execute at such a high level, man.
Yeah, just dominate the football game. And now, listen, it's mode where I can run the football, run out the clock, watch this game go to zeros and get the dub.
They'll run the toss. Breaks into the open. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11. He's now up to 104 yards rushing, and he has busted the century mark in this season opener. And the Gamecocks just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. Back to pass, it's Reed. Quarterback moving. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5. They'll use the timeout, 6 seconds left on the clock. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. He will take a knee, and the defense can stop the clock one more time, but this one is just about in the books.